What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Now, today we've got something a bit different. Now, obviously we do all sorts, we do lots of cricket content, you know, reviewing games, previewing, reacting to all sorts of shit. But here we are. I thought we'd do something different where we go what I am excited for. What cricket matches coming up pretty much for the rest of 2021 I am excited for. Now, what was I going to say? I forgot. So I guess let's just get... Oh, that's what I was going to say. If you're new, subscribe. What are you doing? Don't be silly. Don't be silly. Just subscribe. You have 3 seconds. What are you waiting for? I hope you've subscribed. But hey, let's get into it. Okay. Well, we see today... What the fuck? The Czech Republic versus... Wait, hold on a sec. Austria versus Luxembourg? Bro, should I... someone ask Austria or the Czech Republic to sign me to their national cricket team. I would be the best player on the Czech fucking Republic. Oh, God. Alright, well, I mean, we're just going to kind of go through the fixture. What is this? Bangladesh leads 2-0, so they've won the series against Sri Lanka. That's impressive. We've got Netherlands versus Ireland. Don't really care. We've got a warm-up test here between England and... Wait, when's the championship test start? Wait, when's the World Test... There it is. 18th of June to the 23rd. Okay. So we've got the warm-up test. England are going to play 2 warm-up tests against New Zealand, which I'm excited for. I imagine those will be in England, I would presume. They're not going to travel to New Zealand for them. Netherlands versus Ireland, I don't really give a shit. Ireland will win that comfortably. So England versus New Zealand, that is going to give us a good look at New Zealand and what sort of 11. Obviously, you know, they're playing 2 tests, 2 warm-up tests against England. So that'll give us a look at, you know, them trying out someone like Mitchell Santner, De Granholm, see which kind of 11 they want to go with. And obviously, you know, you would prefer to win both of the test matches if you're New Zealand, but it's also a time to try out some things. Trying to make sure you've got the best 11 down pat, and that, you know, some bowling conditions. I presume they're in England. Let's just check. It does not say. Oh, it's at Lords. So the first one's at Lords. Do they play a game at Southampton? That would be actually quite unfair for India if New Zealand get a warm-up test at Southampton. Edgbaston, okay. So New Zealand don't play a warm-up game at Southampton, which is good because India, that would be a very unfair advantage to India if England and New Zealand got to warm up on that ground. So, but you do get a good look at the conditions and the way the pitches are going to play. Most England pitches are quite the same. You kind of know, you look at the pitch, if it's green grass, you know it's going to swing the fuck. And if a pitch is a bit dry, got cracks in it, you're obviously going to play the spinner in Mitchell Santner, who, in my World Cup preview, well, my World Test Championship preview, a lot of people weren't happy that I roasted Mitchell Santner. I just don't think he's that good. I think he's very poor with the bat. I don't rate him at all with the bat. He's a lot better with the ball, in my opinion, but I know a lot of people still call him an all-rounder. Wouldn't say so. Maybe 5 years ago, he might have been an all-rounder. Wouldn't say so anymore, in my opinion, but hopefully, I hope Santner can play, and I hope he proves me wrong. I seriously hope Santner plays very well. So 2 warm-up matches for New Zealand versus England. That'll actually be very fun to watch. I'm probably going to actually review those matches. And then this is a series that I'm very excited for that I know a lot of people probably aren't, but a West Indies versus South Africa. Now, South Africa, these are 2 teams that are kind of on the same level. Both are good, but they're not good enough to beat, you know, the New Zealands, the Englands, the India, the Australias. You know, they're not in that top 4 bracket, but they're not, you know, and they're probably just behind Pakistan as well, and maybe even Sri Lanka. You know, South Africa, they've lost a lot of experienced heads of De Villiers. Is Faf still playing? I think Faf is actually still in their test side, but they are losing a lot of players, and they're building quite a young team now, and West Indies are the most exciting. In my opinion, West Indies, you know, they're not the same. They're not the Curtly Ambroses anymore. They're not the Courtney Walshes, the Rion, whatever his name was. You know, that exciting. They've had some of the greatest test players of all time, the West Indies. They've been, other than Australia, they in the, you know, when I was growing up, they were my favourite team to watch. Just because they had the fast bowlers and incredible batsmen. They were such a fun team to watch. Who remembers when West Indies tore England apart. You look it up on YouTube, but it's when Curtly Ambrose, Courtney Walsh, Rion King, I think his name was, and some other very good bowler. Look it up. Look up West Indies bowlers destroy England or something like that. It was in the early 2000s. Watch that if you haven't, because that shit is just incredible. They tumbled England out for like 100. It was crazy. And then the big one, which we are all excited for, the India versus New Zealand one-off test, the first ever test championship. I'm fucking excited. I'm so excited for this. And I think it's going to be a great match. Obviously, you know, a little bit of disappointment that Australia isn't playing, of course. But at the end of the day, India versus New Zealand, it can't really get much better than that. India, the best side in the world. And then New Zealand, I guess New Zealand are the best side in the world, considering the rankings. But in my opinion, India are still the best test side in the world. And then New Zealand, and then probably Australia, I want to say. Obviously, people will be like, no, England's better. But fuck England. England can lick my left nut. And obviously, you know, I'm not just going to stop there. West Indies versus South Africa. My predictions for this series will be West Indies 2-0. That's just a hope. And then England versus Sri Lanka 3 T20s, so we've got a lot of cricket coming up. We have heaps of cricket. Then there's a 5 T20 series for West Indies, South Africa. ODIs, England versus Sri Lanka play a lot. Let's just kind of skim through here. Zimbabwe versus Bangladesh, a one-off test match. I'm going to review that. I don't care what anyone says. I will be reviewing that. And then we have a T20 series from West Indies against Australia, which I'm super excited for. England versus Pakistan, Ireland versus South Africa, that is big for Ireland. Ireland playing some good competition in South Africa. That is big for Ireland to take the next step into the big scheme of international cricket. So it's exciting for Ireland. I'm 25% Irish. Yeah, you know, it doesn't really, you know, I don't really care for their cricket team, but I do want to see Ireland do well for that case. So that is exciting. India versus Sri Lanka ODIs. They're on the same day as that Australia West Indies. That's tough. So there's a lot of cricket coming up. That is the way we're going to put it. There is, what the fuck happened? There is a lot of cricket coming up. Plenty of cricket content. All reviews, previews, talks, fucking maybe some live streams in the future. We've just got to wait and see. But I hope you guys have enjoyed, you know, if you guys want to see this kind of a weekly or a fortnightly thing where I just kind of go through the cricket fixture, talk about some matches that are coming up or that are finished, comment that down below. You guys have to know that I have to know that you guys want to see it, but I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.